I know that you are pointing out that they're getting very sophisticated now and trying to fool us by using AI too, to like mimic voices if they have access to them of your loved ones. I couldn't help but think of the time we were almost scammed, and we ran this as an episode one year. We did a whole week on fraud. And what happened was, just briefly, my mother-in-law, God rest her, we lost her this year, she received a phone call from someone claiming to be her daughter, my sister-in-law, claiming to have just been in a car accident where she'd been arrested because she allegedly got in a fight with the cops, and her partner got in a fight with the cops, and they were going to jail, and they needed to be bailed out, and they needed her to wire money to the courthouse right away, and then gave her a courthouse number. So it sounded like legit. But here is a clip of my mother-in-law telling that story.
She said that she was in jail on a drunk driving charge, and that I needed to talk to somebody, that she had a telephone number. She just said, "I'm so scared. I'm terrified." And I asked her where Brad was, and she said, well, he's in jail too.
The sophistication of this whole thing, Eric, was downright disturbing. We caught it at the last minute, same as you.
I've seen that scam many different times. It's used in a number of different ways. So that's one of them. There's a car accident. I'm in jail. You need to pay my bail. And normally, what happens is the next person you talk to is the public defender, right? Who's saying, if you don't pay, they don't get out. There's another one though
that happened,
which is, exactly, the public defender. And then the idea there is they want to put pressure on you. And what they'll say is, if I hang up the phone, then your daughter will spend the next week in jail. If you can't pay right away, I can't get her out, right?
That's what they said. They did it on a Friday. They're like, we're going into the weekend. She's going to be stuck there.
Exactly. So that pressure causes you to not think, to not take a step back and think, wait, could this be real? Because what they don't want you to do is say, hold on a minute, and then try to call your loved one and see if it's real or not. The other way that this scam works very often is you get a call from a family member, and what they'll do is they'll actually look at social media to find out when that person is on vacation. Then they'll use AI to clone their voice, and it just takes 5 seconds of some clip off social media to clone the voice. And what they'll do is they'll call as your family member and say, Mom, I'm in Panama, or I'm wherever they're on vacation, and I was mugged. I lost my wallet, my phone. I'm using somebody's phone at the hotel. I can't even pay my hotel. I need you to quickly wire me $1,000, or they're going to kick me out on the street. And that's next level. Everyone. I know so many family members who have been hit by this.
In this scam, it was somebody pretending to be my sister-in-law, and she said she broke her nose, and that's why she sounded a little different. She didn't explain why she sounded different, but she did lay the foundation just in case Jackie had any questions. But you're saying now people are taking your voice from your Insta or your online posts, you're running it through an AI machine and making it say things like, I'm stranded, because they've seen that you're in Panama on your socials. And they use that against, let's face it, it's usually an unsuspecting grandparent or elderly person who has zero clue this is even possible. Now, my team tells me you guys have put together this technology with a deep fake of yours truly promoting Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. Let's take a look.
Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime is the only book you need to read to keep yourself safe from every kind of cyber attack.
Okay, that did not fool me at all, but it could fool somebody very old.
That deepfake right there took me about 2 minutes. I just grabbed the first image of you that popped up in the red dress, because it goes with the book. And then what I did is I just ran it through a suite of software that animates your image. And I didn't clone your voice. I just picked a stock voice that was close to yours. I didn't want to clone your voice without asking permission. But you can see how fast you could do something like that and maybe fool some people online. And this has been used by disinformation campaigns. Joe Biden's voice was cloned. They've cloned Trump's voice. They've had pictures of Trump. If you remember when he was going through all those court cases in orange jumpsuits and people thought that he had been arrested. AI can cause a lot of chaos if it's in the wrong hands.
So how on earth are people supposed to protect against this? And then we have to talk about the dark web too, because that's scary.
Oh, certainly. So how do you protect against this? Well, AI, as you saw with that video, it's choppy. That's not a good one. There are much better ones if you take some time. Like I have cloned myself and used it on stage where I came across and then had an argument with myself, and it really scared people in the audience because they're like, which is the real Eric? And you can do a few things. One, you have to be able to take a step back and take a breath sometimes before you take an act. The attacker is going to try to make you do something that you don't feel right doing, like send a wire for $1,000 or a quick payment. They put pressure on you, even when they use AI. So you need to not succumb to the pressure and take a breath. I know it sounds terrible, but one of the easiest things to do is hang up and call back.
Yes.
If you feel like your daughter's been kidnapped, your son, because this is a huge scheme. I've kidnapped your child, and this actually happened to a mother in Arizona, and I outline it in the book. I tell the story, and she was so sure it was her daughter's voice saying, "Mom, I'm in trouble." And then this angry voice said, "I'm going to pump your daughter full of drugs and leave her in a ditch in Mexico if you don't pay." She was so scared, but she had the peace of mind to keep him on the phone and then have her friends start calling and calling until they actually reached the daughter. What I do in my family,
believe it or not, when this happened to us, we did not even think to call my sister-in-law and her partner Brad. We didn't. It was so dumb. We were believing
it's not
she was
dumb.
in jail.
It's psychology, though. They're putting that pressure on you. They put you in a pressure situation, and we don't, unless you're trained for it. And I know that you're good at pressure situations, but for this kind of scam, you want to act to save someone. You want to act to help. And you don't take that moment to think. And the criminals understand that psychology. They've studied it. They've even hired intelligence officers from Russia and China and Iran to come work for them to help inform these scams.
Oh, that's crazy. That is like downright scary. I want to tell the audience that episode is number 818 in our feed 818. And in there, it has a very fun conclusion because before we sent any money to this guy, we finally did figure it out. Like we finally did catch on that this might be a scam. And I tape recorded the conversation in which I knew at this point, and I still had him on the line, and it has a very interesting ending. It's great. I love this tape. We love it so much. So we played it out in full in episode 818. People should check it out. We have a piece of that deep fake of you warning about AI avatars with yourself in an AI avatar role. Let's watch it. SOT 19B.
Hold on there, Megyn. I'm the real Eric. Don't listen to this other guy. You think you're listening to Eric O'Neill. But what if you're not? I look like him. I sound like him. I even move like him. For all you know, I could be the real Eric. And the one sitting there is just another fake. That's the trick with AI avatars like that other guy. They don't have to be perfect. They just have to make you doubt what's real. One moment of hesitation, one click, and it's too late.
That is very creepy.
Right. That's a little better.
Creepy.
So with that deepfake, I actually recorded about 2 minutes of me speaking and uploaded it to the software. And then it is animating, fully animating, and saying what I type. So I just type the script and it says it. And imagine if you're a dark web attacker who has found Eric O'Neill and then downloaded one of my speaking events, right, or YouTube videos, and uses it to create that, and then
you've
uses
got a ton
that
to
on
work
a Zoom
with.
call.
Did you know gold is up around 40% this year? That's not speculation. That is reality. And if a portion of your savings is not diversified into gold, you're missing the boat. Here are the facts. Inflation, still too high. The U.S. dollar, still too weak. And the government debt is still growing. This is why central banks are flocking to gold. They're the ones driving prices up to record highs. But it's not too late to buy gold from Birch Gold Group and get in the door right now. Birch Gold will help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. You don't pay a dime out of pocket. Just text MK to 989898 and claim your free info kit. There's no obligation. There's just useful information. The best indicator of the future is the past, and in this case, the present. Gold has historically been a safe haven, and it's doing gangbusters right now. So text MK to 989898 right now to claim your free info kit on gold. Text MK to 989898. Protect your future today with Birch Gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.